So I decided to give Stellar Blade a try, and I can say already, it's ass. And by ass, I mean there's a lot of it to go around. Have you seen this shit? Good god gracious. Last time I had this amount of fan service, I was watching Old Snake's ass in Metal Gear Solid 4, but that is besides the point. Assuming you haven't lived under a rock, Stellar Blade recently flew onto the Steam charts by releasing on PC, and surprisingly the PC port did not suck ass. Must be because of all the other ass in the game. Now, I personally waited for this game to come out to PC, mostly because I'm a PC gamer myself, but also knew this game would have mods. And my god, the modding community were on top of that shit on the first day of release. A lot of wholesome mods out there, I must say. I mean, just look at the most popular downloaded mod. And while we're on the subject of the most popular downloaded mod, let's crack open the other Pandora's box of all the hating, insecure journalists by starting off with the main character, Eve. Out she comes out of her pod already showing off a curvy and lean physique, and the game makes no effort in hiding every chance you can get to admire the amount of ass it presents. The game even provides outfits to help you on the admiration. Now, I myself don't really care or see this as a problem, since a lot of video games of the past has also been quite stereotypical in the physique of male characters as well. I mean, just look at Duke Nukem, Chris Redfield, Doomslayer, Kratos, the list goes on. All of these characters are also conventionally attractive in the sense of having big muscles, they're tall, bulky men that saves the world. So why is it problematic when the artificial human who can dropkick big ass monsters around has an athletic and more toned physique? Now, one of the main talking points of every article is that this character was created for the male gaze, but if so, then every movie with an attractive guy in Hollywood is also for the female gaze. Guess what? Sex sells. Stop being a fucking pussy about it. Who cares? The gameplay is good. And speaking of the gameplay, let's dive into that. The gameplay in Stellar Blade resembles something of a mixture between Sekiro, Metal Gear Rising, and Dragon Age 2, in the sense of there is a lot of value in perfect parries and counterattacking, but you also got a skill wheel to perform powerful attacks using a skill resource outside of the regular combo system. I find it to be a good balance between ability spamming and retaliation type combat. However, it's not perfect because sometimes when you are ganged up on, you either can counterattack because while you're countering one enemy, you get hit by another, or you are forced to use abilities that simply AoE them down, which becomes a bit repetitive at some points as combat situations get more crowded the further you get into the game. The boss battles are the best part, but sadly they come off as repetitive at times, mostly due to reusage of bosses when it comes to any optional boss. You basically get to face off with a tankier and health spongier versions of a boss from an earlier stage of the game, and some will have a new move or two, but it's overall the same boss fight. Apart from that, I think the controls are sleek, and I think the overall combat and gameplay is good. So let's talk about the story instead. So here comes a spoiler warning. I'll give you 3 seconds to skip this segment. You're still here? Alright, so to summarize my thoughts on the story before delving into it, I'd say the storytelling is one of the weaker aspects of the game, although there were parts that had me intrigued and the overall conclusion to the game was somewhat predictable. To summarize the story instead, it goes something like this. You are Eve, an artificial android human, part of the 7th Airborne Squad sent by the Mother Sphere to purge Earth of the Nativus, which serves as the game's enemy. Shortly after landing on the Earth, Eve becomes the sole survivor of her squad, and as the game progresses, Eve finds out that there are legacy archives from previous Airborne Squad members who details that the Nativus are in fact humans, the real organic humans, who in turn created the Mother Sphere, who then created the androids to take over Earth from its original inhabitants. So the entire key point of saving humanity from the Nativus is a lie, made by the Mother Sphere, who is deemed a god in this time despite being an AI created by the organic humans before. But they had to evolve into these monsters we see to defend themselves. So the moral of the story, fuck AI. I mean, I could probably talk about the story for another hour, but if you are interested in every nook and cranny, you can comment down below and I'll make an entire story-based video going through every detail of it. So, the conclusion then. Stellar Blade is not a revolutionary game, but it does go against a lot of gaming politics that the Western gaming studios have now become obsessed with, whether it's gender politics or race politics, which quite frankly the average silent majority don't give a shit about. We want good games that don't push agendas or political statements, because sadly any game that does go that route suffers in quality because the need for pushing whatever political message oftentimes does not affect the quality of the game as a whole. You are catering to the wrong audience and it shows. Compare Dragon Age Veilguard's launch to Stellar Blade on the Steam charts alone, and mind you that Stellar Blade already released once on PS5 before the PC release. Sexy sold in the past and it still sells today. I would give this game an 8 out of 10, missing its 2 points mainly from the story, which is the weakest part in an overall great game. Now, I want to thank you all for watching the video, and if you made it to the end, I want to say a huge shout out to you, and if there's any other game you would like me to cover on the channel, be sure to comment down below, and if you've played Stellar Blade, what is your opinion on it? Comment down as well, down below, subscribe to the channel, all that, blah blah blah, that's all I have to say, bye bye.